Why is going to Mars not a waste of money? Just yesterday, I saw the news that people were eating sand for their survival in Madagascar, and many people are dying in North Korea because of food crisis. So you see, these food crises, these humanitarian crises that we have in the earth, we have the money and the resources to solve all these problems. Today, there is enough money in the world, and there are enough resources in the world to ensure that not a single human being on the planet has to go hungry. It's just that there is so much inequality in the world, and this is all artificially induced inequality. It is because of this inequality that these problems persist. So certain rich nations want certain parts of the world to remain poor. They want to, I mean, if certain parts of the world are not poor, then how can you show yourself to be superior, right? So these problems persist because of artificial reasons. Now, when it comes to the progress of technology, of scientific progress and technological progress, that has to continue. Imagine if India had not invested in ISRO in the 1960s and 70s. Today, India would be far behind technologically. We would not have access to all the satellites that we are able to put into space of our own volition. We would have to rely on other countries to launch our satellites, and they would charge immense amount of money. And they may do a bad job of it if they want to, or they may refuse to launch certain satellites, for example, military satellites. So all of the space resources that we are able to enjoy and benefit from today, for example, in the field of agriculture and many other things, which actually benefits the poor people of India, that would not be possible had India not invested in space and in the space program. And therefore, all of this that we are doing, even the Chandrayaan mission, the Mars orbiter mission, these are not waste of money. These are improvements in our technology, and these will benefit the country in the long run. It will not benefit us today. But short term planning is myopic planning. It is short sightedness. You have to always plan in the long run, 30, 40, 50 years ahead. The Chinese plan 100 years ahead. And that's why they are where they are today. They are where they are today at the cusp of being a superpower and at the cusp of solving all their poverty, because they started planning like this 50 years ago when 90% of their population was below the poverty line. So it is only because they planned like this and they invested in science and technology that they are able to progress so much. And today, almost nobody in China is below the poverty line today. So all of this is a valuable and worthwhile investment, provided the result of this investment is reinvested back into the country and it is used to solve the country's problems. So that is why I believe that I am firmly and strongly of the opinion that science and technology must keep progressing. You cannot put it on hold and solve the other problems. Even in India today, all the poverty which still exists is actually solvable in 5 years. If the politicians will stop bickering among each other and stop using poor people as vote banks, right? So poverty is maintained in India. Slums are maintained by politicians in India because these are captive vote banks. This can all be removed. All of these, this suffering and poverty and all of that can be alleviated within 5 years if the Indian politicians really want to. So it is not a question of wasting money on space and other things. It's a question of basically reforming your own terrible system. That's all it is. That's why I would strongly say that going to Mars or going to the moon or going to space is not by any means a waste of money. It is an investment in the future of our children and our grandchildren. It needs to happen.